Morning, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to Project Evie. You haven't seen Project Evie for some time, and I don't know when you're going to be seeing this video, because this project has been around for months, and I've lent it to my sister-in-law when her car was playing up with a leaking thermostat. She's had it a couple of times, I've used it myself. It's almost become another Loopy Harold, where I've been using it as my sort of runabout car, although of course it runs okay. The reason the lights are on, I've just been going over and checking everything. It did have the old exclamation mark up saying check DRLs, so for the time being I've switched them off. So obviously the headlights work, it's just one of the DRLs, bulb's gone. I haven't got time to be messing around changing it now, because I've got to leave literally in less than half an hour to get it down to MOT. I think the MOT ran out, I'm not sure, it ran out this week sometime, I think. Yeah, it's either, or maybe yet tomorrow, I'm not sure. Anyway, so today is Friday the 21st of January. I don't know when you will be seeing this video, as I say, but let's get in and see what else there is left to do on this car. As I say, I've got to check it over. I want to make sure the wipers are okay and we've got squirter fluid and that sort of thing. I'm not going to go mental, because I know that there's something down here that's got to be done. Not necessarily for the MOT, but there's a bit of a clonk. I've got a feeling possibly that the support for the air intake is not connected, but we'll worry about that in a minute. I just want to go and show you around the car. So what we got to do on the car, so if you remember, I mean, it's filthy dirty at the moment, but that is just bare filler. I have not, that has been filled, that has been rubbed down, been refilled, and as you can see, it's down to the primer and a little bit of the metal. It's been sitting around like that for a while actually, so that's going to have to be re-rubbed down. Hopefully no more fillings required, and then we need to paint it. And what I've done is I've ordered, I know this is a bit of a DIY job, so it's not going to be perfect, but because it's down the bottom, I didn't want to take this to the body shop. So what I've done, just to hide it up a little bit, just to cover up any imperfections in my paintwork or my filling, I've ordered a set from AliExpress, a set of stripes that go along the bottom. They actually look quite nice, but I thought it would just hide up any imperfections in my amateurish painting. I want to get the filling and rubbing down as good as I can, but it's just my painting skills. So I just thought they'd look nice anyway, and just as a bit of an experiment. So I'm sort of killing two birds with one stone. The car is very, very green. It really needs a good clean. So that's everything that side. We got a few marks on it here, but these are, a lot of this is glue actually. Rear of it is fine. Nothing whatsoever wrong with the rear, apart from it's absolutely rotten. Now this is the bit that I'm really not happy with. The way the bumper sits in it is awful. I don't know why that is, but this is just rubbish. So I've got to sort this out somehow. I don't quite know why it's like that. But yeah, I mean, that is still, if you can see it, it's still sitting proud. I did repair that, so I don't really know what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to try bashing it down, and if I have to do a bit more filling. But this car is not going to the body shop. So if I have to, I need to sort that out and get that better though. But I'll have a go at that. All these marks here, there was obviously some sort of branding on here, and it's the glue off of stickers. What else we got? So if you remember, we used the Porta Power to push in the bit that was sticking out. We actually did go too far, and we caused a little bit of a dent stupidly. So that I need to sort that out. I did fill in the dent that was on here. I have painted it. It needs rubbing down a little bit and painting again, put another coat of paint on, and then we need to put some clear coat on. I need to get some more 2K clear coat. And apart from that, and a general clean, the inside is fine. The inside is absolutely fine. Let's turn this engine off, but just a bit on the grubby side. But yeah, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with the inside whatsoever. It's just the outside. The bonnet, I will have to put another bonnet on it. as this bonnet is the one that I took off of Project Market that I've just sold, which is the one that I repaired that I wasn't happy with. It's crap. So at some point I will take this bonnet, when I'm going to get some new bumpers and get them down and get them painted once I've got the other car back. In the meantime, this will go there as well. So what my plan is going to be is when I get the 16 plate back, by that time the convertible should be ready to go to the body shop. Obviously that's the same colour. When that car goes to the body shop, I will take that bonnet and a couple of new bumpers to get painted. I mean, this is a new bumper. You wouldn't think so considering how filthy it is, but again, you know, we've got the dodgy gap there. I know I can probably sort that out. I couldn't get it perfect on the last one, but I will have a go at that. You basically have to manipulate the bracket underneath, sort of bend it down. So by bending the front of it down, bends the top of it up, and then it should line up better. That's the theory, and it has worked before. The gaps aren't fantastic all the way around it really, but it is what it is. This was a bit of I wish I hadn't bought this car, to be honest. This was the one with the back damage, which of course I've sorted. So can't remember how much I'm into on this, but it's over £2,000 in total, so I will probably sell it cheap because it's not going to be perfect, but I'll get it as perfect as I can. If I can sort that out at the back, that's my main concern, is the way that back bumper fits in there. Whether this has got misshapen, however it was dented, I don't know. At the end of the day, if it has to go to the body shop to get that done, I'll have to do it, because assuming that I do the sills okay and it looks all right, it passes its MOT, you know, even if I do have to replace something at the front, which I think I'm going to have to because there's noises coming from it. It might be just a drop link, it might be nothing, but until that such time, I think the MOT is obviously a good way of finding out, isn't it? If it flies through the MOT and it's not the shock, which it could be, then I'll try the drop link and I'll play a little bit of parts roulette on it, but failing that, I'll just whack out the entire thing like I did on the other car and hope that does the trick. But as I say, bushes, it might be bushes, and the MOT will flag up as to what that is. Might be the bottom arm even, so, but we'll see. You know, had it be a car that I was doing, you know, getting it done now to sell it, then I probably would have had a little inspection, but I haven't got time. The only reason I'm getting it MOT now really is because the MOT has either just run out or it's about to, but I do need to get this one finished and sold. So apart from the C, that's me done out of projects now. One sold, one in the body shop, this one plus the C. So the little bit of work to do on the C. As regarding the C, I've got to sort the roof out. I've got the spoiler to either paint or wrap. I've got the roof to clean and repair. I've got a new back beam to put on, which I may get Connor to do because I'm sick of being cold out here. It's so cold again today, and I've never done one before. He's done two for me before, so if he's up for it, I'm going to get him to do that, excuse me. Yeah, that's it basically on the C. I mean, I'm sure there's a few other bits and pieces on it. It's been parked over at my sister-in-law's since about, oh blimey, mid-November, something like that. I disconnected the battery over there, so I need to park this one up. Once I've got it MOT'd, park this one up on the drive, probably uninsure it, and then insure the C and bring the C back over it. Or what I might do is insure the C, swap the policies over, so for one day both are insured, drive this one over, leave this one over there, bring the C back, get the C sorted, get the C down to the body shop, and then bring this back. There's a lot of to and fro-in, but that's what you've got to do. So I've done enough talking on this now, so I need to check to make sure. I need to take my phone mount off of the windscreen because that will come up on the as an advisory to take it off, because you're not allowed to have things hanging from mirrors or on the windscreen. So I'll just, for the MOT, so I'll take those off. Yeah, so it's only really the wipers and make sure there's water in the squirters, which I think there is. But we'll do that, and then as I say, I'll film when we get back from the MOT, and fingers crossed it does pass. If it doesn't, I'll let you know what it's failed on, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I literally got probably another 20 minutes before I've got to leave to go down there to get it done. So we will see you in a little while. Okay, we're back from the MOT, and much to my amazement, not without a few issues, but it passed. Yes, it passed. Let's show you the MOT. So we've got a few advisories. nothing spectacular. As we know, we had the knocking noise from the front left-hand side. He asked me, "Did you not hear that noise?" I said, "Yes." "Is it your car?" "Yes." And I told him I was using the MOT to diagnose what was actually wrong. So he said, "Fair enough." So it passed, and we have bottom arm, bush, worn but not excessive movement. I would say there was quite a lot of excessive movement going by the noise. Yeah, it does make quite a lot of noise. Tyre worn close to the legal limit, worn on edge front inner, both sides, so both front tyres are wearing on the inside. McPherson strut pin or bush worn but not resulting in excessive movement, near side front top mount. So it's worn, but I'm not going to bother replacing that. It must be very slight play, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. Rear axle corroded. Yeah, they always are. I don't even know why they even mention it. And then there's both rear tyres are slightly perishing. That's it really. So I suppose based on that I could probably do with 4 new tyres, which will be part ones are 30 quid each. 30/60, that's 120 quid, which I could do without spending, but I will inspect them. If they need doing, they will be done. I've ordered an arm. Flexi pipe. He actually said, it says there flexi pipe deteriorated. When I spoke to him before, when I first got there, he said, the flexible pipe has come off. I said, "Oh, come off." I said, "When you say come off, can it be put back on and clamped on?" He went, no, it needs replacing. But on there, he's just put deteriorated. So I'm going to take that with a pinch of salt. I will get underneath and have a look. I'm not going to order one until such time as I've looked at it, because they often mention those and they haven't actually come off. They just sort of fray a little bit around the edges. So we'll have a look at that. If it needs doing, again, I will do it. That happened on the last one. It said it was deteriorated, but when I looked at it, it was absolutely fine. So yeah, we'll cross that bridge. As I say, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. I will look at the axle actually. I can't actually remember on this one what it was like. I might have a look now actually. Get the torch on and then just have a little shufty. But that's it, and it passed, much to my amazement. Yeah, that's good. I'm pleased with that. So yeah, let's get the torch out and we'll have a clamber underneath, under the back, and have a look. Looking at it, it does look quite. It's all surface rust anyway. It's nothing much. You see it? It's all surface. They all do this. I put new shocks on it, didn't I, on the front? So what I'll do is I'll give that a brush. I'm not going to bother painting it, because it's all very well painting it when it's off the car, but I think unless you paint it, when you paint it on the car, it's quite difficult to actually get to all the bits. Otherwise it looks a bit of a dog's dinner if you try and do it, but I'm just going to give it a good brush. I might put some anti-rust stuff on, and presumably the same side. I mean, obviously I did see this when I did the shocks. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit crusty, but they always are. Same goes for that bit. I wish they wouldn't put that down, because when you're looking at the MOT history, if someone's buying it, think, "Oh yeah, you got rotten back axle." Well, no, you haven't. But some people would question as to why it's down there. But if they want to get down on their hands and knees and have a look, they'll see. But yeah, no, it's annoying that they put that down. So yeah, bottom arm's ordered. So I will hopefully get that next week. I'm off, I think, Wednesday and Thursday next week, so I can get that done, weather permitting, and freeze me Watsits off. I have got another white bonnet in the garage that I need to get out, because I think it's damaged here. Sorry, here, I wasn't pointing the camera. Both corners, I think. Can't remember. It's got a black, and I remember it's got a black stripe down that bit, which I can obviously take off. But yeah, I've got a feeling those corners are a bit dented in. Obviously the bumper's got to come off to do the bottom arm. When I do that, I can also have a little go at that to try and get that better. Yeah, and I've really got to try and do something. Obviously, as we explained before, all these bits of painting have got to be done. I've got to get all these sticker marks off. But I've got to do something with this. The way this bumper fits and that there, I've got to have a go at that, and then give it a good clean up. And then after that, if I can get that sorted, get all these bits of painting done next week. I know it's not the weather painting, but it's got to be done. So and obviously that sill, as we mentioned earlier, I don't know when these stickers are going to come. I'll have a look on. I ordered them before Christmas, I think it was, or around Christmas time, so I'm surprised they haven't arrived by now. I'll have to have a look at the tracking. I imagine they'll be here quite soon. But although, you know, it's not, I've had this a while, and it's not the end of the world if it doesn't, you know, if I don't get it ready to sell straight away, but it does need to go because it's in the way, and yeah, it needs to be sorted. So that'll be it for the time being. We'll come back next week when we do the bottom arm. As I say, we'll have it as part of this video, and then doing that we should have a nice full video for you then. So yeah, I'll see you next week once we've got that bottom arm. So today we are going to take a look at the exhaust flexi pipe, but first thing we're going to do is change that bottom arm. Let's go. So yes, bottom arm, not my favourite not my favourite job, I have to say. I've only done it a couple of times. The last time I did it on one of the grey cars, and I got it done okay. It was a bit of a pain to get off, as they always are, I think. One thing I did buy, I have got somewhere up here, yeah, a ball joint splitter. I've never had a great amount of success using that, and I was watching somebody else's video, just in general, and I saw that they were using one of these. So I thought, right, for next time I do one, I'm going to buy one. So stick it into the joint, give it a whack with a hammer on the end, and hopefully, and a bit of leverage, and hopefully that will do it. Only time will tell. As I say, I've never used it before, so I bought it for when the time like now arose. So we're going to give it a go. So yeah, so that today, I'm not going to be doing this for long this morning because about 11:30, it's about 10:30 now I think, at 11:30 I've got to go to about 3/4 of a mile up the road to a friend who bought one of the light blue ones I did probably a couple of years or so ago, probably more than 2 years ago now. 2018 it was, possibly, or 19, I'm not really sure, to be honest. They've got a bit of a strange noise coming. Well, she thinks it's coming from the rear, but it's only when it's in reverse, when she's reversing off the drive. And I said to her, it's probably a stone that's caught somewhere, and you know, it's just dragging on the brake pad stroke calipers, and it'll free itself. And she went out. It's her daughter's car, but she went out and reversed it off the drive again. She said, "Oh no, there's something wrong." So I said, "Look, if you're in tomorrow, I'll come round about 11:30, 11:45, and have a look." So I'm going to take me jack. I'll maybe try and identify where it's coming from, because she seems to think it's the back. I know, I look back at the MOT history, and I know, and she told me that both rear shocks have been done, and I think both front bottom arms have been done. So first of all, she wasn't sure whether it was front or back, but she thinks it's back. So I'm going to have a look, see if I can figure out what it is. I'm not necessarily going to do it for her. It depends on what it is, because I don't really do that. I don't really, you know, I don't repair cars for people. But she is a friend, so, you know, depending on what it is, it depends on whether I do it or not. And obviously when I get the chance to do it, you know, I've got a full-time job. I can't just drop everything and do it, because I've got my own stuff to do. So we'll see anyway. I mean, she's not, obviously she was asking me if Connor was still working, because she wanted to get him down, and I said, I'm not sure whether he is, because I know he's got a new job now, and I know when he was supposed to do the rear beam on the convertible, and I had to put him off for some reason, which I can't remember what that was. After that, he said that he's got this new job, and I think he might be pausing doing the work. So I'm hoping not, because I want to get him to do the rear beam on the C. But we'll see. I've got to message him. But yeah, so she was quite happy to take it somewhere. She was asking me if Connor was still working, or if I knew another mobile mechanic, because she's scared to drive it now. So she's taken her daughter to work this morning, and the car is sitting on the drive. So yeah, long story, well, that wasn't a long story short, it was the long version. But I shall be having a look at that today, and then we'll come back if we won't have finished this, because it's going to take me more than an hour to do this, and then we'll come and finish this off this afternoon, hopefully. Freezing cold again today. It's about 1 degree. Not very nice working out in this weather. I really don't enjoy it at all, but I want to get this done. I could say, you know what, stuff it, leave it for the time being, but I want to get it done. So yeah, let's get on with it. So I was literally I've just set the tripod up there ready to start filming, and I just got a message from my friend with the car, saying she's got back early, so I'm going to go over there now. So we'll get that done out of the way, or have a look at it, and then we'll come back and we'll get this done in one fell swoop. So I will see you when we get back. all the best laid plans and all that. It's now 2:30 in the afternoon and I haven't done anything yet. So I went over to my friend's, had a look at the car. Nothing obvious, but I identified that when the wheel was on full lock, like that in reverse, the left-hand wheel was on full lock that way, pointing inwards. It was you could see the wheel was juddering, and I couldn't visibly see anything wrong with it. It drives absolutely fine, although it was if you take your hand off the steering wheel, it sort of went to the right a little bit. But it looked like the tracking was well out. One of the tyres was really wearing badly, one side. So I phoned the bloke at the who does the tracking for me. Asked him if he could take a look at it for her. She just texted me back and said, "Yeah, show me the picture of the tracking thing," and it was well out both sides on the front. Her daughter had clumped a curb, so that was obviously what had done it. No damage was caused. So they put 2 new Pirelli tyres on it and done the tracking for her, and fingers crossed, hopefully that sorted it. She was still waiting for the tyres to be done when she messaged me a few minutes ago, but hopefully that's done the trick. I got home at 12:30, and then my mate, or 12 o'clock, my mate texted me and told me he was coming around at 12:30 for a coffee and a chat. So yeah, I've been talking to him ever since, and now I'm going to get on with it. So we got enough daylight left, unless I come up against any stubborn bolts that I can't get undone. I should be able to still get it done today. So I've got to get the trolley jack and what have you out the boot of the 500X and get on with it. So I'll set you up on time lapse. Let's get it done. Well, that was really quick. That's the fastest, I say the fastest I've ever got one off. I've only ever changed it twice. I've taken them off before when I've broken the cars up, but it's the quickest I've ever got one off. Most of the bolts come undone okay. You probably wouldn't have seen from the time lapse, but the one that's there on the end of the other end of the bottom leg extension, the bolt came undone, but then it wouldn't come out. So you probably saw me jack it up to take the tension off of it. I think it was that, and then it came out. And also using that was a godsend. I mean, it took some bashing in and then bashing down, but it came out a treat. It took maybe 2 minutes to get that out. So if you're going to do bottom arms or any type of ball joint, I recommend getting yourself one of those if you haven't got something that's better than that as a pro, or as a pro tool even. But I will put the link to that on Amazon. It's made by Silverline. Obviously it is a cheap and cheerful, but you know, occasional use for me. Yeah, highly recommend that. So it's like a little sort of fork shaped thing, if you like, but yeah, it goes right in there and it came out a treat. Absolutely brilliant. Wish I'd had one of those before. So this is the old one. Now I don't know whether I did that with that, but that's split there. Whether that's where it was split, I can't remember what he said on the MOT. And this you can see here. This is the front, the back one. I think it might have been this one actually. As you can see, it's at an angle and the rubber's started to come out. The other one is a little bit split, so it's well and truly had it. And this is obviously why I've got the awful clonking noise. I didn't record the clonking noise, I should have done, so you could hear it. But yeah, that's done, that's out. And hopefully I'm going to get the other one back in quite easily. I'm going to get some washing up liquid on it. That seems to be my lubrication of choice, if you'll pardon the expression, doing these cars now. I'm going to grease up as well, put some grease in around all the bolts when we put the bolts back, just for you know, future proof and getting these undone. But they weren't really griefy. Some of them wouldn't come undone with a gun, but I started them off. One bolt I started off with the extension bar and then got the gun on it, but everything else came off relatively easy. Chances are that I would imagine that's probably the original. So it's well overdue. There was no mention of the other one, so you know, this isn't my favourite job, so I'm not doing the other one. I'm obviously doing this one because it's clonking and because it said so on the MOT. I had a look at I will film afterwards and get underneath and show you, but where he said that flexi pipe had come off, it's not. From what I could see when I was just looking, it's just a little bit on the frayed side, so I might put something around it. I might put like I'll have to show you them. I've got some really long sort of they're sort of flat, rolled out circlip type things, and you just wrap them round. They're quite good. They look quite, I've never used one, but they look, when I saw them I thought, oh, they would be quite handy. So I'm probably going to use those. But I'll show you that after we've done this and got this back together. So I'm going to put you back on time lapse, and then we'll attempt to get the other one in. That's it, all done. That wasn't too painful. It was a bit of a job to get in. They always are a little bit of a job to get in. It's just getting them in at the right angle. I think you need to get that one in first, get it into the right position for the nut, and then you need to sort of hit that one underneath with a hammer to get it up into the right position. They are a pain. Once you've got those two on, then it's easy to get the to get this one on. And that's on. Oh, you can't see it, but it's on. Trust me. It's all done up nicely. Arm put back on. Or leg, rather, not arm. The leg's put back on. That little strap thing, whatever you call that, and done the bolts up on that. So it's all done. So I'm going to get the wheel on, lower it down, and then we're going to attack that colder on that bumper, see if we can improve that. And then tomorrow we'll move on to doing this paint, this rubbing down and filling if necessary again, and try and see if we can get a bit of painting done. I've got some direct gloss paint now, so we'll get on that and see if we can get it to look half decent. And those stripes that I mentioned, they came today, so we'll see what this looks like. I'm not holding out hope it's going to look fantastic, so I'm hoping that those stripes will hide it up a little bit if need be. Hopefully I can get it good enough and I won't need to put them on. But they actually look quite nice anyway, so I might put them on anyway, but we'll see anyway. But that'll be job for tomorrow, which will be in this video. But yeah, let's get this wheel on, get it off the stand, pack the tools away, and then we'll attack that corner. So I'll be back very shortly. Okay, so we're all back together over the other side. So I'm going to have a little go at this. This is a bit slippery because I knocked my washing up liquid over again, and so the bottom of this it's really slippery. Every time I stand on it, it falls out. So I think what I need to do on this, I think I need to take the headlight off. So we'll take the 3 bolts out for the headlight. I'm just using an ordinary spanner for this. It's only a couple of bolts. I won't bother using my power thing. And then we're going to try and do, I'm not sure I need to worry about, because I've got the bumper off, I think I can do this. I'm going to try and manoeuvre this bracket a little bit, if I can. And then we'll put the headlight to one side and we'll put the bumper on and see if we can get the bumper to line up. It will never go in exactly until, well, usually won't go in until such time as that bolt goes in. That wing's a little bit bent over there actually. I have to try and straighten that. It's only a smidge, but I don't know why that is. Never noticed that before. Oh, that's my friend who's took the car to get the tracking done. It was I can't remember if I mentioned it. It was the tracking. She had 2 new tyres, had the tracking done, which was well out, and it's all fine now. So she's very pleased because she thought she was going to get ripped off again at a garage that she went to locally. So yeah, pleased about that. So let's take that off. Okay, put that to one side. Now, I know a lot of people, subscribers and otherwise, have had trouble when they've been repairing these cars where the bumper sits too tight this end and too loose this end. Now, one thing I have just noticed, I think, is the bumper bracket, I believe, is actually broken on this. I'm going to have to get my torch again because it looks like it's broken this side, because it should, I think, should come back to here. And it only comes back as far as there. So let's get my torch and have a look, because that might be, in this instance, that might be why this isn't working. It is right. So the bracket comes to there, and so does that one. And this is a new one, not a broken one. So that's just me being an idiot. So Yeah, so I think what we need to do is, if we loosen these two bolts off here, let's just put that on there, hopefully that will stay. If we loosen these two bolts off here, I don't know if we need to take them right out. See, there was no, oh, blimey, that's tight. There was no actual damage on this side of the car. So what we need to do, somehow, and I know other people have, I've suggested this to other people, I know they've done it successfully. So I don't want to hit it too hard on the actual bracket, because I don't want it to break this bracket. So I'm going to hit it under here. Not sure it's making a blind bit of difference. Obviously the holes still need to line up, which is why I've not taken the screws right out. There's not really any way of bending it up, I don't think. So I don't want to go damaging the wing, of course. Yeah, I don't know. It is a bit of trial and error, this, and I have sort of done this before, and as I say, I've suggested that other people do it as well, and I know other people have done it successfully, because it is only a smidge. I mean, we can't really, if I get that in there, as I say, I don't want to do it too hard, because I don't want to break the bracket. But if I take those screws out, let's take them out, or at least let's take this one out, because this one, so it's got to go that way, yeah? So this part of the wing has got to go down. So if I pull it down a little bit, and then let's tighten that screw up. Again, you know, I don't want to do this too hard, because I don't want to damage the bracket. I'm not sure this is actually having an effect. So that bit down and that bit up. So if I can't get that in there and then lever it up, it just ain't happening. So let's give it another bash. It is such a tiny amount. Let's do that bolt up. By just loosening those and not taking them off, obviously you could come to the situation where the holes don't line up, but you don't want that. So by loosening them off, it gives a little bit of play, which hopefully might just be enough. I'm not convinced this is going to work, but as I say, others have made it work successfully, so we need to hope for the best. No, it doesn't seem to be making a blind bit of difference, does it? No. I don't know then. How else can we do it? Actually, it isn't as bad, you know. Or maybe that's because the headlight's not in. Yeah, it's a funny one, this, because there was no damage to this side of the car. This is what the strange thing about it. So I don't really know why it's like it. Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to think of another way of doing it. So I don't need a new bracket. It's too tight this side, too loose this side. So that does need to move up, doesn't it? I need to loosen those bolts off again, don't I? I'll tell you what, let's take these bolts out. Take them right out, just experiment. Because this, as I say, this is quite a common problem. And I have let cars go in the past where I didn't want to, but I just couldn't fathom out what I could do about it. So obviously the bracket that goes onto the end of the inner wing is also bolted on, which does allow for a bit of movement. So if I was to loosen those off, I don't know if I can get to them. That's the problem. I'll get to the front one. Actually, yeah, as I can get to the front one. Sorry, you're looking at my back, but if I can loosen this front one off, and then so what did I say? So the front, see what I mean? Now that's moving the front down. So that's bending that a little bit. So if I put those bolts back in, did I take that out? No, I've just loosened it, haven't I? So they're still, although they're not perfectly lined up, that would allow me to move the corner of that down. So let's try that. So I'm just putting pressure on it, pulling it. So that's enough for me just to hold it in place, I think. But, you know, as I say, I don't really know why I'm needing to do this, because this wasn't damaged. So I don't really know why it's out. I'll put this one back in as well, which, as I say, is still, you know, you can still see the hole, it's just in a slightly different position. So again, it is, you know, it's trial and error. I hope this is not boring you too much. Obviously, if you're not interested in this bit, fast forward to the next bit. But yeah, I think there's quite a few of you out there that have probably, if you do repair these cars, you probably come up against this same problem. So it would be nice to get to the bottom of it. Okay, let's try it now. No, it's not made it's not made any difference. It has not made a blind bit of difference. But it is better than it was to start with. So I think it's not allowing for enough movement. I think short of undoing every bolt on that wing and moving the wing about, I don't know any other way we can do it. It don't look as bad. And obviously that would pull up once the bolt's in there. I don't think there's a bolt in there. I think it was done up with a cable tie before. But we'll give that a go. So I'm going to put the headlight back in, and then we'll try it again. I need to put the foam thing on as well. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll get a cable tie and we'll try do it up and see what it's like. So it's done as best as I can get it. I've lined the bumper up with the bonnet, although that bonnet is coming off, of course. So I need to get a new one. So that side's fine. That side is super fandango. This side is better, but it's still not perfect. But I'm afraid it's going to have to stay like that, because that's as good as I can get it. Can't get it any better. So that's good. I'm glad we got that, even though it's not perfect. I mean, this all needs adjusting, but you know, as I say, this is coming off, so it doesn't matter. So I think for today that's it. You might notice that I put nice white lights, the DRL bulbs. As you know, when I went for MOT, that wasn't working, so I turned the DRLs off because they're not part of the MOT. So I just turned them off so there wasn't a warning light up on the dash. And I decided to. I couldn't find any normal bulbs, the yellowy ones, so I've changed both and I've put blue ones in. And that one in particular was a pig to get in. I could not for the life of me get it in, and I thought the housing or something was broken. So I got another one out of the garage, which is down there, which is again, you know, broken lugs, but and that went in normal. And then I don't know what made me do it, but I saw the angle it went in, and I tried it again, still wouldn't go in. Then all of a sudden it just went. Nightmare. I hate those things. It's such a bad design. So you basically, they're vertical, and you need to get a pair of pliers on them generally, a long nose pliers, and you sort of turn them about a quarter of a turn, and then they come out. But I could not get it back in. and it went eventually. And I hate those things, and that was with the bumper off. With the bumper on, they're just nightmare. I normally jack the car up, take the wheel off, get my head in the wheel arch to do it. So anyway, it's getting there now. So we've got nice fresh MOT on it. We've done that bottom arm. I'm just going to have a look and see if I can tidy up that exhaust. And that's it for that. So tomorrow, it's getting a bit dark now, so I can't really, probably again, it doesn't look that dark through the camera, but it is getting dark. It's about 4:45 now. Tomorrow I'm going to give the car a snow foam, and I'm going to give it a good wash, which it hasn't had for months. I'm going to rub that down. I might rub that down first, then give it a wash. Rub that down. I've got to fill on the other side, I think, because I made that dent which I showed you earlier. So I'm going to do that. I want to try and get, if I can, try and get some of this painted tomorrow. Now with this bit here, which again, you know, I think I've probably shown you on this video, but it was a few days ago for me. This sticks right out, and this bumper is a mess. The way that bumper goes in is just not good. So I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's something to do with the damage that was here. But I have got the 16 plate car that had the pre-facelift bumper put on. I got a good bumper. This was a crap bumper that I bought, which was all damaged here, which I just sort of repaired, but I don't know if it's something to do with that it won't go on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bumper off, put that other bumper on, see what it looks like. I don't know what else to do because it looks awful. You know, this side is fine, but that side you can see the bloody holes here. It just doesn't fit properly. It's a nightmare. And this, so I'm going to try and bash this down if I can. If I can't get this to go properly, I'm going to have to it's going to have to go to the body shop just to get that done, which I really don't want to have to do. Really don't want to have to do, because I want to get this car sold. So I'm going to have a go and see what I can do. And then that needs painting again. The other side needs painting again. This needs painting again. I've got direct gloss this time. I've got 2 cans of direct gloss. So hopefully it will match. I can get all that. I'll get all that bottom bit sprayed. If that filling down there is okay once it's been rubbed down. It may need more filler. I don't know. Hopefully not, because it's had probably 3 coats of filler I've given it now. You know, building it up. So once it's all rubbed back down, you know, there might be some imperfections that I can fill, and then use that. The fine surface filler goes off quite quickly, so I can get that rubbed down again and then still get it painted tomorrow, hopefully. So I'd like to get that all done, and then it's just that back quarter bit to sort out. But that's quite, you know, I've not been out here for very long, and at least I've got the bottom arm done, I've got the bumper on, and so on. Although I say it's not perfect, it's as good as I can get. So that's it for the time being. As I say, it's getting dark, so I can't do any more today. It's nearly 5 o'clock now, I think. What's the time? Yeah, 4 to 5. So we're going to call it a day on this video for today. We'll be back in the next video with a little bit more, and probably a bit to the sea as well, because we're sort of hopefully coming to the end of this one now. And even though there's still a few bits to do, I'm not going to film all the I'm not going to film me rubbing down seals and what have you. So there probably won't be too much to go on this one, but we'll be doing that tomorrow anyway. So yeah, that's it for this video. So thanks for watching. As always, if you're not a subscriber, please hit that button, subscribe to the channel, push those numbers up, and yeah, give us a thumbs up as well, please. Yeah, appreciate all your views, appreciate all your comments. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.